Hey, welcome to Ask an Asian. I'm Lucas Seeley, and I'm here with the token black guy, my token black friend, kept on stage.
Did you say that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then my token white friend, Big Irish Jay.
Hello.
And they'll be asking me questions about what it's like to be an Asian. Let's begin.
Let's do this thing. Go ahead, Jay. You
want to go first? Yes. All right. First question to you, my Asian friend. Out of all the stereotypes there are for Asian people, what is the one out of all of them that really bothers you, that you're like, oh, I don't really like that one?
You know, I would really say, I'm not trying to be hacky when I say this, but I do not like that the whole stereotype that Asians have small penises.
Right.
Although I will say, like, I'm not saying I'm like huge or anything, you know, because I play ball. I know how I stack up in the shower. But I will say that there's been times where, like, I just let girls, they'll be like, yeah, you ever heard you have a small penis? I'm just like, I do. And
well,
then,
you can almost always play that in because they're always going to be thinking, you know, they're always going to be thinking you got the tip of the eraser. So anything of the pencil you have is a bonus. So
that's like that joke I did, like black dudes have the worst stereotype because you have to... expectations.
Yeah.
Whereas he's got nothing, so if he's even average, he's destroying stereotypes.
Exactly. It's like if they believe that, then I'm just like, okay, and then
then you're like, excuse me,
and they're just like, I learned something today. You know what I mean?
The more you know,
because you can't be any smaller than in your mind. You're a baby.
And the reason why I don't like that is because I dated this white girl for almost 3 years.
What?
Yes. I was dating this white girl for almost 3 years, and I felt bad for her because I know that other guys would look at her and, be like, oh, she's dating an Asian dude. She must like that small stuff, you know what I mean? And I felt bad because...
I love how his deep voice
she had to be an ambassador for me.
Right. No, guys, he's all right.
He's got that little stuff right.
That's a great...
The other stereotype that I do not like about Asians is...
There's just one.
That's it.
Oh,
okay, perfect. Yeah. Second question, and we've all answered this question. This is one of my favorite questions in a while. So thank you, whoever sent it. I forgot who it was, but I didn't forget you as a person. If you had to choose 2 people to represent your race in an international race relations summit, who would you choose?
Okay. I would choose... now, do they have to be alive or what?
They have to be alive.
You can't pick Bruce Lee. Are you going to say Bruce Lee?
No, I won't.
They can't negotiate race from the grave.
Okay.
The best of what you guys have now.
Yeah.
Okay, first I would actually choose my mother.
Oh.
And here's why. My mother she's so likable.
She is.
She's a short 4'10" Asian, and she's just like, hey. And she's just so kind. And she inspires me. She's always motivating me.
Right.
She's always she's just a great lady. She's a great cook, and she's just so sweet.
Do you kind of like? Are we both just kind of like going? I kind of feel like a jerk now with my answers.
This is just my mom. I love you, Mom. I didn't. He went last.
Yeah, I know. You might say he Pearl Harbored us on that.
Okay, your mom, Mama Seeley's #1.
She is great. She's his mom is so. It's just she's just all love. Makes when I've stayed there, she makes egg rolls, which are amazing. I can just see her walking into the summit. Egg rolls?
That's a good way to start off. Like,
she's amazing.
Who doesn't like egg rolls? Everybody's like, yeah, you're never like so hungry that you can't take one egg roll.
Yeah, they're delicious.
There's always
she's awesome. One. And who's your other? If you say your dad,
that's it. That's enough.
Yeah.
And like the other one would be Kim Jong-un. And here's why. Because he is a lunatic.
Yeah.
I
will give you that.
And, my mom's a loving person and reasonable, and then Kim Jong-un is just like, people be like, really?
You have to respect Asia.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see Kim Jong-un with Mike Tyson trying to work it out.
I mean, this dude convinced Dennis Rodman to come to his country. He is the only person in the world that convinced a whole country that America is evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people think
America's,
but the whole country.
Yeah.
the whole
Well,
country.
they have like state-run media.
Yeah.
Like it's so much easier to sway opinion when the media. I mean, well, people would argue that our media is run by the government too, but that's.
But
I like our media.
Even in the Middle East, you know, it's not everybody there hates Americans. You know, it's mostly like the militants and all that stuff.
It's very true.
But in North Korea, everybody does not like the U.S.
Yeah.
And him and his family really convinced everybody, which I thought was amazing. And
He's kind of a hero of yours.
He's just a little crazy
Yeah.
that, you know, that I get.
Okay.
So.
All right. My next question. All right. Eating pho, or I guess eating in general.
I love pho, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
I'm a fanatic.
I was
That was
hungry, I was
funny.
Like, I'm gonna say, what the fuck am I gonna have for lunch? And I have pho.
Okay, what is the deal with all the slurping and snorting
Oh my gosh.
when eating it?
Snorting?
Yeah, like when you're having fun.
Well, I mean, okay, the slurping, I mean, you're eating noodles. How can you not slurp?
Oh, you can do that.
Well, it's not like pasta where you can just twirl it in a fork and then eat it. You got
Well, you'd also would need a fork.
Yeah.
Well, it's slurping and smacking though. Like, when I worked at Bank of America, we had a lot of Asian people, and during lunch, this one lady just going ham, and I can't even concentrate. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's
really
true.
good, huh?
It's because it's just so, and it's just like a thing. We don't even think about it. We eat the noodles, and you're like, you got to do that. I mean, how else are you gonna eat the noodles? I don't understand how
I
you're
try
gonna eat the
to
noodles.
eat my noodles so quietly when I'm eating pho. I'm just like,
Dude.
like no. In black culture, slurping or smacking is
White culture too.
Is it?
Yeah.
So Lucas.
Yeah, dude, my buddy Wes, who's from Louisiana, country, country. I took him when we were in Seattle. I took him to Pho for the first time ever in his life, and we walked in, and it's all Asian people, and all he hears is, and he's like going, man, what the heck?
You know that the sniffing comes because we put a lot of peppers in it, and so we start to sweat. So, but it's not considered good if you're not slurping.
So it's a cultural thing.
Yeah. So if you're not slurping, like if we were there eating quiet, they'd be like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah.
Really? That's so
like
interesting.
a black woman's equivalent of adding seasoning. If you add seasoning to a black woman's meal, like after she's prepared it and put it on your plate, if you add salt, anything,
I think that's
like
just
telling
a
her
cultural thing. Because this dude right here, when I cook for him, he brings the black pepper and salt and he puts it on there. I'm like,
my wife gets so it's
disrespectful. I agree.
Because that means I didn't season it perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she did, and I'm like, I might just, like I try to do what she's not looking. I'm like, please just allow me. It's funny because my father-in-law was in the Middle East for like 5 years, and he worked with a lot of Indians, and he's, they eat with their hands, and they smack too. He was like, Kev, I could never get over it. He was like, they're just. It's like he's the only black dude in there, or white dudes too. They're just like. So it's very hard to get used to.
This is why I would have my mom be representative, because when she eats, she smacks. She's like,
so it's like black girls with bubble gum.
Okay, here's another question that's actually related to food as well. And it says, why do Asians still eat with chopsticks when forks are available?
Well, the chopsticks, the reason why those were even invented goes back to when we talked about dog last week. It's a resourceful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So chopsticks were made from wood, and it was a lot easier to just chop a little wood and use that instead of like forging the iron and making the metal.
But couldn't you make like a wooden fork?
Yeah. Couldn't you just get a branch with like 3 little twigs on it and stab the food?
I didn't know that it was a resourceful thing. And a lot of the Asian stuff is like the most economic way of doing something.
That's why America outsources it to China. They realize at first, they're like, oh, look at they're efficient with their stir fry and their chopsticks. Let's use them for factories.
Wow. And they don't have the same laws about minimum wage and unions do it. So they're just like, and they have way more people, so they're like, we're going to outbuild you regardless. Yeah. So you might as well pay us. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
But China's getting pretty scary.
Yeah.
Well, back to the chopstick things. Okay, that's great. That's how it was. But we used to ride horses, but we have cars now. So why don't you use forks now? Why don't people? Yeah, I got you.
Great question, Jay.
Because why would you need to do something when something already worked?
Well, horses worked, but a car will go faster.
But I guess to his point, you're not necessarily more efficient with a spork as opposed to chopstick. If you learn to eat with chopsticks, you're not like, hey, dang, if I could just, you know what I mean? Like, a car is more efficient, faster, further than a
Fork
horse.
is more efficient.
No,
Do
but
you
you're
know-
stabbing
Do you know how to use chopsticks?
The
Yeah.
people, Asian people, it took me
you
so
don't.
long to be able to pick up noodles with chopstick.
Yeah.
I would be watching
Yeah.
them, they're just like iron fists.
Yeah,
like
that's the other thing.
one piece of rice, one grain with the chopstick, they can do it.
I will say this, which talks to the efficiency thing. Chopsticks, you're everything. That's your everything. Whereas we have a knife, a spoon, a fork.
While
but
you're
then
switching hand, the Asian is just...
yeah.
He's just
but then he's
standing-
also going.
He's distracting you.
Just a whole bowl.
How do you think I felt when I ate spaghetti in school? I'm like, what are you guys looking at?
You're drinking the marinara.
Oh my god.
And
That's funny.
this is how we eat. We hold the plate or bowl to our face, and you know.
Yeah, I know.
That
was good.
Funny.
And I always be like, "What y'all looking at?"
Then you take the little.
Oh god.
That's good.
It's great.
What's
Great.
about?
All right, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Ask an Asian. If you want to see more videos of Ask a Black Guy or Ask a White Guy,
Kev on stage.
click down there. You can follow Kev on Stage at Kev on Stage on Twitter, or you can follow Big J at Big Irish J. Check us out. Thank you. Share it with your friends. Leave comments for next week if you want to know things about an Asian, okay, or math questions.